if there were a number of the opportunities that are out there available today, I probably wouldn't went to college. I probably would have just went right into the construction industry.
Made bullying a bigger issue. It's made, just treating each other badly. I feel like the high school year's harder, middle school year's harder.
Yeah.
Just because they're able to get on social media and blast people like crazy. And if that didn't exist, I think it would be an easier.
About to get messed up.
Yeah, they are about to get messed up.
That's where they're discounted hair.
Discounted hair because they ain't going to have no hair.
Yeah.
You got to just grind. You got to be a grinder. There's way too many weaklings.
Okay, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. We got a good one for you guys today. We are we're in a different location, obviously, that you guys aren't used to, and we have two of the best guests. Or what I was gonna say is that we have two of who may be the best guests on the show, but they're already can't even control themselves 5 seconds into this, so we'll see how this goes. But we are back home right now, and we have my parents on the episode today. Before we dive into that, though, we're going to jump into, as you guys know, every episode we thank you all so much for watching, listening, supporting. As you guys know, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you very much. If you guys are listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Amazon Music, we're on all those platforms as well, so that's always amazing. And if you guys haven't checked out the Patreon yet, check that out, guys. $3 a month, as you know. Have extra content on there. Get some cool perks with that. We have my mom and dad on the episode today. Tiffany Blevins, Austin Blevins here. How you guys feeling today? You think you're going to be able to handle this?
Ready to go golf.
Wow, okay. Yeah. We got some serious questions for you guys. You think you'll be able to handle seriousness, or? I think so. Okay. So we're just going to dive in here. We're going to start from the very beginning. We're going to go back quite a while for you guys. We're just going to start from when you guys met, where you're both from, how this whole story, how this whole journey began here. Okay, so floor's yours on that one.
I grew up in a little town outside of Wichita, Derby, Kansas. Went to high school in Derby. Decided to go to Pittsburgh State University, where I moved down there for my freshman year of school. That's where I met the Crosslands, Pat Crossland, Tim Carson, and went all the way through school. And then I met your mom after I graduated. Pat and I used to go work out at the YMCA, and your mom was there I watched one of her jazzercise classes, and that's where I introduced myself. We talked and went out on a few dates, and then she said she couldn't live without me, so she got married.
That's not how the story.
Okay, so do you want to give your side of things here?
I'm a local, so we met.
Pittsburgh, Kansas.
Yes, to Pittsburgh, Kansas. So we met when he was going to school there and I was going to school there. But in the gym, yes, he's right. But I recall just one date. He had a girlfriend.
Yeah, so
Asked me to go out. I didn't know he had a girlfriend, but I did think he was cute. Yes, he had a girlfriend because I was at his house one night and she came and got her iron in a very hostile way. And, and then I remember telling my best friend then that, I went on one day, he had me home by like 9. It wasn't even that great of a date. And I was like, it's not like I'm going to marry him.
it's nice.
And then he didn't call me for a week.
Nice. Yeah.
I can honestly say, first guy that never called me.
Oh,
I called him after a week.
Nice. So your situations growing up, right? Like, how was your childhood? How was your childhoods growing up, and how has that become like part of your relationship and how you guys met and everything.
Mine was fine. I had I had a really tight family. My mom and dad both worked. They both had their own careers. I mean, Papa was always coaching of whatever team I was on, Little League. But he had worked for Boeing for a long time, so he had a really good job there in Wichita. And yeah, I mean, our family farms out in western Kansas, so I would go out there for the summers and earn extra money. And then I started working at a lumber yard there locally in Wichita, which got me kind of in on the construction side of the career. As we started looking at options for when I graduated high school, and then went and toured a few schools. Pitt State I thought was a good fit because it was a smaller school, but had a good construction program, and I mean, that was the direction that it led me.
Well, so I was raised by a single mom, 2 brothers. I mean, that's about it. I don't know what else to say.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, we'll jump off those ones here. So both of you were talking about college, so we're going to jump to college for a second and ask you guys how both your college experiences were going to the same. Did you guys meet in college or before college? After.
No, I was in college. He was graduated.
I graduated and had a job.
Yeah.
That's why she jumped on me.
Okay. Yeah. So, I thought you guys met in college or before college, so I guess we'll take a step back here.
It's confusing because he was actually graduated, but you lived with people who were still in college, living the college life, but you had a full-time job.
That's correct.
So he was kind of living the best of both worlds.
I know you both have a handful of stories that I've heard before from your college experiences, so I don't know if you guys want to share any stories from when you were around my age and things like that.
Well, when my high school is different than mom's, because mom was popular, enjoyed her high school. My high school was different because I lost my best friend. He was hit and killed by a drunk driver, so that just threw kind of a whirlwind into how my high school career went. But when I got to college, totally different ball game. Met a lot of great people who are still my friends today. Everybody in college was a part of our wedding. I mean, I've got friends that'll be, my friends till the day I die that I met in college and had a great experience, had a lot of fun, a lot of new experiences, new opportunities. I mean, the place that I had always known was either Wichita or western Kansas, so southeast Kansas was a whole different experience. It's, different landscape, different climate. So it was, college for me was awesome. I enjoyed every minute of it and created lifelong friendships and that we still have today. I mean, you guys know Pat and Tim and, Brandon went there after me, which was cool because he ended up becoming friends with people that were related to, Tim and Pat. So that was a neat experience. And then obviously I met your mom there. So, going to Pitt State for me was life-changing and has got me to where I am today, running the Crossland office for Colorado. Would have never had that experience if I wouldn't have went through those, life experiences and went full on with Crossland right out of college.
Going out of college, did you just knew you were going to go to Crossland? Did you have any other options or any?
I interned with them in college, but I'd always planned to move back home just because that seemed like the logical thing to do. And Dad had set me up. I actually had interviewed with a company. I won't bring up their name, but I was planning on working for them full time. And Pat came to me and was like, "What are you doing? You need to just stay here." And so he and Ivan got together and called me and made me an offer and an opportunity to stay with them, which was awesome because I really didn't want to leave. I loved Pittsburgh and my family away from my family, so I decided to I mean, it's a pretty big deal in my life was to make the logical decision to stay there and continue on. That's what I did.
Well, Mom, I know you have a totally different story. Or I guess, I mean, you're part of Dad's story, but you have a totally different college side of things. So do you want to share that?
I don't know where you're going. My experience was different in the sense that I went to college in the town I was from, met Dad. He asked me to marry him 2 years into our relationship.
Nice.
So we lived.
I was gonna say I think 2 years was a little longer than I was told.
For a relationship, so we lived together early on.
She had brought a cat.
He's still to this day not a fan of cats. I was going to college, but we got married. A month after getting married, found out I was pregnant with you. So I was pregnant while I was going to college. Had you. Still going to college with a newborn, and Dad was actually living in Arkansas most of the time when you were traveling back and forth when you were born. So, I mean, my experience was a little bit different than Dad, so I ended up not finishing my degree because, you know.
I had to take care of your ass.
Nice.
And we ended up moving. We ended up moving to Arkansas. That's how we moved to Arkansas. And
did you, what was it like when you didn't finish college? Did you want to finish college?
Yes.
Is that something you wanted to do?
Yes.
So you did? And how did that, change the course of your life? Do you think it would be totally different if you did finish college?
do.
Or what were you going to college for? Fashion, right?
Fashion, merchandising.
Yeah. So what do you think you would be doing right now? Or, what job do you think you'd have?
I honestly don't know if I would be using that. It's just I was a stay-at-home mom for 18 years. Best thing ever. It's what I wanted to do my entire life was be a mom. And so that was a great gift that, I was able to stay home. But at the same time, now that you guys are grown and gone, pretty much, if I had a degree, I just feel like it would, Dad works hard. So it would just help him to not have to work as hard, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I think you've done pretty well. Or not?
No, I do.
So,
No complaints. And I was given the best gift ever because I always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and Dad worked hard so I could do that.
yeah. Well, going off of that, still staying on college, we'll jump kind of back onto that topic in a second. But I was going to ask you guys one more thing on college was, what are some of the things, or I guess a couple more things, but seeing from where you guys were at college to seeing now your kids starting to start college and other things now, how have you seen times change, views change surrounding college and stuff with that? And
Dad's views have not changed.
no, not but the world's views, the society's views on college and everything from when you guys were going to college from now when your kids are going to college. And I mean, you're seeing two different
I know what you want.
timelines.
Well, it's obviously everything is different.
Yes.
It wasn't too long ago, COVID, anyone had never dealt with a pandemic before and all the different restrictions that we were going through and all the different bullshit.
And online
And then, just like you're doing these podcasts, I mean, that never existed back when we were in college. I think there are a lot of different opportunities for people outside of traditional college. I get that. Just like Preston coming to work for us, he didn't feel like the path he was on was the right one, and maybe, in the future he'll get back on a college path just with a different degree. But I think if there were a number of the opportunities that are out there available today, I probably would have went to college. I probably would have just went right into the construction industry.
it's not the answer I expected, but
You and Dad have two different thoughts, whether you guys want to admit that or not.
well, I mean, I always thought Dad was maybe the stricter one on it, but I really, really, whether you use a degree or not, I wish my children had degrees, just because I don't have mine, I feel very strongly about that.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, it's a lot of jobs, high-paying jobs, are looking for at least a bachelor's or an associate.
And I don't
And
think
you
it matters
can't really-
what you get it in.
Yeah,
It's
it
just
doesn't matter. They're
having
just wanting to see that you actually had succeeded in
Yes.
something, and they want to know that you can pursue something for a long term.
Right.
And that's why they want to know that you have a degree and want a degree for their company.
Right. And I that's kind of,
Even if it's like totally unrelated, like you'll be applying for a receptionist or something. They'll be like, oh, well, do you have your bachelor's? Like, okay.
yeah. And you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, having a degree just shows people that you're willing to commit, you're willing to sacrifice, you're willing to do things above and beyond what it would typically take to get that degree, so that then you can try to further your career. And I get that, but construction industry, in my opinion, it's a totally different animal. And if a guy wants to come in, put his head down, work hard, show up on time, have a good attitude, there's a lot of things that you can do that are easy. Andrew, who works for us, I mean, he says that all the time when we interview kids. It's easy to make it in this industry out of the gate, and for a while, if you're just willing to learn, work hard, and show up on time. And I think if I would have had those opportunities that are out there today, I probably wouldn't have went to college. I'm glad I did. I'm glad I went and got my degree. I'm just saying, I think it's a different world today than it was 20 years ago.
Like you were saying, the different opportunities that are here today, differing from when you guys were going to college, a lot of that has to do with social media and different opportunities that arise just from social media and the different connections you can make with people now and the amount of people you can reach now. Do you guys think that do you think all these opportunities, one, is a good thing, or do you think social media is harming everybody and making it a worse situation or a better situation?
I'd say I probably feel in the middle about that. Like, I think it could, I mean, there's bad sides to it, but then I think it also furthers people's careers or whatever they're trying to accomplish.
What do you think on that one, Dad? The same thing you just said.
Two sides to everything.
And that's what
We never had iPhones in college. The technology wasn't there yet. It's changed, the perspective and the way people look at things globally. And it's just a different animal. It's hard to say right, wrong, or indifferent. It is what it is. I think that we rely on it too much, that everything gets scrutinized because of it. I mean, when you look at news locally, globally, internationally now, it's I feel like there is a lot of things that are scrutinized and pinpointed before the full truth comes out. Because you can look at a clip of something and totally pinpoint something against someone in a I guess a bad or a good way without having the full story. And that's what I don't like about it.
And I also think that it also, just being a mom, I'm always thinking of kids. Like, it's made bullying a bigger issue. It's made, just treating each other badly. I feel like the high school year's harder, middle school year's harder.
Yeah.
Just because they're able to get on social media and blast people like crazy. And if that didn't exist, I think it would be an easier.
But, there's a lot of good things that come out of it too. Like, people that you typically wouldn't have been able to reach out to in the past. You can basically find anybody you want.
Oh, right.
And reach out to them if it's an old schoolmate or whatever it is. I mean, there's always good,
what old
bad.
schoolmates are you reaching out to?
I'm using it as an example.
Okay.
Well, I mean, one reached out to you, through you to me. Not that you always want to be found, but I mean, the options are there.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to ask for Dad, kind of specific question. I don't really know how much you guys use social media or like online things for Crossland and construction stuff, but do you think that that's changed a lot of things within the construction industry and different industries that you've been a part of? Has it made things easier or like?
Yeah, I think LinkedIn's a big deal for our industry, and the company posts things a lot just to be relative and to keep our name out there. It makes marketing easier, obviously. Being able to find people and interviews and find good people, it does make that less challenging than it would have in the past, but now you're competing against everybody as well.
But yeah, I didn't even think about that last part of it. You guys competing against everybody as well, I guess that's part of it now, with everybody trying to like have like social media managers in their company and stuff and trying to grow their social medias at a certain point. Do you guys have like a social media manager at Crofton?
Yeah, I mean, corporately, we've got, you know, those people that handle all that. I think the big difference now is that everyone's out there. It's the right content. Like, what are you posting? How does it relate to the job? What other pieces of the puzzle does it? You know, we do a lot of school work. We do a lot of volunteer work. We do a lot of charity work. And it's just creating that culture as a leader in our company and a company as a whole is how you use that as a positive instead of, hey, here's a cool job we did. Well, what do you guys do outside of that? Everybody builds stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so I look at everything basically through the lens of my career because that's all I have to base it on. But that's how it's, you know, a good tool to like a LinkedIn and some other avenues.
Nice. I didn't even know you guys were like had all that social media stuff going on. I also didn't know you.
Well, I think every company kind of has to have a social media marketing team to push their stuff out.
Yeah.
I've even seen like church kind of organization jobs that yeah. So like even like small little jobs like that too have social media marketing. So it would assume like big corporation jobs have to have social media marketing as well.
Yeah. Well, going off of all of those questions and everything, I was gonna move on to. I was gonna ask you guys. This one is what are some like things or advice that you would have told yourselves going into college or starting your own lives or starting Crofton or whatever, that you would have told yourselves if you knew what you knew now and you knew what you guys were going to be doing in the future, where you guys would be?
Don't quit. And you're worth it. Those are the two things I would tell myself.
I would just, mine's different than your mom's, obviously. Mine would have been, you need to stop, slow down, and enjoy your family when they're younger. Because I dedicated a lot of things to work. Not that I regret that by any means, but I also wish I would have stopped and been to a few more things when I had the opportunity, because I can't go back. You know, you guys are only little and we only have those experiences once. So it's easy to say that now, but when you're young, I mean, we got married when we were 21 or 22, had you when we were 23. So you're trying to climb that ladder as quick as you can. And it's just hard to put things in perspective. So I always tell everybody that.
But I don't remember you missing things. Like, that's nothing I would ever complain about with you.
Yeah, but I was gone a lot.
Yeah, you were gone a lot.
Clint, like, you know, his little boys, and he does a good job, in my opinion. He picks them up from school and tries to be involved as much as he can.
Okay, yeah, you were never around for like... No, I don't mean it bad. But I mean, he didn't miss like sports. You know what I mean? Dad was always there for that kind of stuff. But like everyday home life, yes, he was not.
I remember Dad being there for math homework and things. Yeah.
Because you wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I remember those situations. But yeah,
That's because I can't do math. So Dad had to do it all. Very good.
Well, yeah, I think that's good stuff for anybody listening, and just for us, Bella, Caden, everybody to hear. Building off of those things, I was going to ask you guys what your definitions of success are, and if you think you've reached your definition of success, or if you're still pushing towards something else that you've had in your mind as this definition of success throughout your life.
I think for me, I've reached it, but I think I could have been much more. I'll just, but like I said, from a very early on, I wanted to be a mom. That was one of my biggest goals.
Yeah.
And I reached that. I feel like I was a good mom to you guys. I raised you. So I feel like I was successful in that sense. But I also feel like I could have been outside of you guys. I could have been much more than I ever gave myself.
Yeah.
To think that I could.
I mean, there's different ways of looking. For my career, I mean, everybody always wants to do better and do more. I mean, me personally, we're in a great situation with good people in a great location that we love. I wish we wouldn't have traveled around so much so you guys would have had friends from, kindergarten through now. Just
I agree with that too.
That's different just because I made the choice to travel and try to build my career, but that was a choice we made. But hey, I work for a good company with good people. I try to be the best person I can on a daily basis and make good decisions. And the fact that we have kids that still want to be around us and hang around us and do things with us is a big deal to me. We went to the lake and you guys came and Bella brought her friends and Big Boy wanted to hang out with us. So, continuing that family and having a tight-knit family is always important.
Yeah. In my eyes, I was going to say you're both very successful in my eyes and have worked extremely hard to get where you are now. And for another piece of advice that I was going to ask you guys, for me or for other people that are starting the first steps towards trying to build their future, trying to reach their goals, trying to get to these certain points, do you have any advice for those people that are starting those steps? Because I texted Dad the other day for advice on a few things with trying to do stuff with the podcast, trying to market it better and a few other things. But just these people, me, other people, whoever that may be listening, watching, that are looking into the future, trying to build these things and maybe terrified or just trying to figure it out and have no idea what they're doing.
You got to just grind. You got to be a grinder. There's way too many weaklings out there that aren't willing to take a leap or to go above and beyond because they feel like they're owed something already. You got to put your head down. You got to work hard and you got to grind. It doesn't matter what industry it is. Construction's easy to say that because you can pick up a shovel and you can pick up a broom and you can go do something and show your worth. But in your type of industry and things that I'm not familiar with, I think it's still the same. You're going to grind. You're going to work hard. You're going to do the best you can. Be a good person. Be respectful to others, and it'll all pay off. May not be the time frame you think, but it will eventually. I guarantee you.
And like right now, AJ, you think things are so stressful and it's so hard to get where you and all that, but this is such a small, where you're at is such a small blip of what your future is going to be.
Well, like Dad was saying with like the construction piece of things and being able to just pick up a shovel or like do whatever and just put your head down and go to work. That's what I struggled with the podcast for a while, was just not knowing how to just like put my head down and grind on it. Cause I was like, I don't know, like I always just thought of like, oh, well, when we're at the house, Dad just has us do work and stuff. Like we can just work, or if you're at like a different job or something, you can just work and show people how hard you're working. But with this, I just couldn't wrap my head around how to do it or what I needed to do to really get it going. So that's what I struggled with for a while, which I think I'm slowly starting to get it now.
Self-motivation, like you have to get yourself.
Oh, yeah, and it's not, yeah. You pretty much just trying to prove yourself that you can do it, which is totally different than a lot of things that I've done before. So that was hard for me to wrap my head around, but I think I'm finally starting to get it and starting to get it down now because like this last month I've been able to really go hard on it and keep doing that. So yeah, I think that was a good piece. And then like you said, I don't know if you want to say anything more.
No, I was just saying that for people that are beginning, like it's like I just remember even going back to when Dad and I were first, it's such a small, like the very beginning, it's just a small blip on your, like I look back at the years that we've had a family and been together and just Dad starting his career and everything. It's just so small at the beginning. Like you think you have this mountain in front of you, but you'll look back and be like, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I climbed that mountain and look where I am. And that was what seemed so hard then was.
And mom does tell me this all the time. Because like when I was in Fort Collins and I was dealing with all that crap up there, and it was when I called you outside the gym one day, the one that I remember when I was like in the situation with Pasty and Hannah and trying to figure out what to do, and it was just did not know what to do. That was the exact same thing Mom told me, was that it's just such a small piece. It's not going to matter here.
And always follow your gut. Yeah. I am a very strong believer that your gut will always lead you in the direction you're supposed to go. So always follow your gut, which was kind of what that situation was, what I was telling you.
Yeah. I mean, it's what got me to make my decision. So yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. That was pretty much all the big questions I had for you guys going into that. The last one, I guess the last piece I had for you guys was where you are now, looking at where your kids are at, building up where I'm at. Bella starting esthetician school, Caden.
Oh, cosmetology.
Sorry, cosmetology school. Where she's at. Caden's gonna be a senior next year. Like, do you got like what are your thoughts on like where your kids are at, where they're going? Did you guys see this future of?
No.
Yeah.
Well, no. I mean, I'm super proud of, like, I couldn't be more proud of my kids. There's nothing negative I can say about you guys, but I definitely did not see your future.
Yeah.
Well, without detail, you know what I mean? Like, we just thought it would be different, but I'm also one that can roll with the punches, I think. And so, you know, I know I'm proud of you and Bella and Caden, where you guys are all at, like, super proud. And I know that it will just, in the end, all work itself out however it's supposed to. So I don't stress so much.
I think Dad's learning to roll with the punch.
Yeah, I think Dad's getting better. That's what I was waiting for him to chime in, because I feel like he's definitely gotten better the last few years. I think that's due to you.
Yeah, we like to push Dad to his limits, get him out of his box.
Hey, I'm just glad I've got 3 kids that are good people. Every one of you has got a good heart.
Yeah.
And you do work hard in your own ways. And I know that you'll always do the right thing, make the right decisions, and I know that you're going to treat people as you'd want to be treated, and that's the biggest thing for me is that I've got 3 kids that I love dearly, and I know that they'll treat people in this world the way they need to be treated. There's way too many assholes and negativity and evil out there that it's you got to pride yourself on what you deliver to the world, and it's 3 kids that make me really proud.
And that's I would 100% agree with that. And that's one of the reasons I'm so proud of all 3 of you, is because I feel like you guys have, your character is amazing. Your hearts are amazing. You're just, it makes you proud as a parent to know that you raised good kids who are going to make the right choices. And I think also it's parenting. It's also the schools you were in. It's also, we set you up well for being having good character and being a good adult.
Do you hear that? The schools we were in.
Okay, I have a good heart. I went to public school.
Don't.
Like, what do you mean?
It's fine, but I'm saying we made sacrifices and choices that fit our family well. It doesn't mean it's right for every family, but it was what fit our family well.
Yeah.
I'm sure your mom went to public school as well.
They both went to public school.
Wow.
And they both
they raised their kids great.
Have stories of why they put us in private school.
Yeah, I mean, public school wasn't the greatest option, but it's where it went.
Dad would totally have done public school. I was the one that but in the end, are you happy that you did? Like, look at what.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think you go to public school, it gives you a little more
care. Well,
that public school's here. Like, you would have stuck them in.
Yeah, I don't think we'd be in the same situation.
Anywhere, because a lot of public schools by me had a lot of gun violence.
Yes, and
the school I went to.
I also
I think Bella's partying phase would have been a little worse if she would have been in public school.
Austin, that was 30 years ago that we graduated. 30 years ago that we graduated from high school. So look at.
Well, we're past it now, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I'm just saying that I don't know that they would have the character that they have, raising up with the expectations and. The strictness that the schools had, and I don't know.
I just like my environment because it was like a lot of kids, like a lot of people to associate yourself with and kind of figure out who you're gonna be. But that never all happened for me. I only had one friend.
Well, and trust me, like Bella would have loved to have been able to go to.
Yeah, Bella wanted to go to
a big public school, but again, I'm not sure that would have been the smartest choice for her, because she's she likes to have friends. She likes to be social, and
I did not like to have friends, and I have one friend.
No, but it's not about how many friends you have, it's the quality of your friendships. So I mean, you have good, and you don't just have one friend.
I have 2 friends.
Do we really have to get this? I mean, you've had people come visit you on your.
I know, gosh.
It's also from like college where it's like a little bit more, you can be free, kind of express yourself how you want.
Yeah.
There's a lot more people who don't really care about you in that sense and like just living their own life. And you can just be as free as you want in college.
I mean, I saw a video on TikTok. It said, when you're in high school, people judge you for holding your pencil wrong. When you're in college, you see people riding a scooter in a kangaroo costume, and you think it's normal.
Yeah.
Actually, writing, for like until 5th grade, I couldn't write well. I didn't hold my pencil right. And like I used to get made fun of it for it.
Well, that's
Because
just
I didn't-
backing up your point,
Yeah.
like what you were saying.
But yeah, that's what I was saying.
Well, that's why I also tried to teach you guys that high school is also a very small.
Yeah, which I didn't believe it in the moment,
Yeah.
and now you see it's true.
I remember telling you that so many times, AJ. Once you're out of high school, none of it matters. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't. High school doesn't matter. Like the age you guys are at now, does it matter?
No, I don't even remember half of high school anymore.
I mean, it doesn't matter once you're out of it.
Yeah.
When you're dad and I's age, no. Like,
But I will say I do kind of miss having like going to school, like high school, college. I do kind of miss that environment.
yeah.
Like I said, I don't want to go back to campus, preferably, but I do kind of miss that environment and just having something to kind of like not exactly look forward to, but having something to distract myself for a couple hours a day and just having something to do and people to socialize with. So
Right.
that aspect
Yeah.
I miss.
I will say, with the friend thing, Pasty is the one friend, no matter how many times he ticks me off and I want to kill him, he is the one friend that will be real with me, and he will call me out of the blue. He still does this, like, every week. He calls me out of the blue, and he'll ask me, like, if I've stayed on my podcast stuff this week or whatever, and whatever my answer is, he's like, well, that's not good enough, so you might want to pick it up some more if you want to make it happen.
I love Preston. Like, you guys will be friends for life, and I'm so thankful for him.
Yeah. Well, that was all the questions I had for you guys, so I guess we can wrap up your guys' side here if there was anything else you wanted to say to end it off. I don't know if there's anything else you guys wanted to say, if that was it. Yeah. Okay, well, I guess we can bring Bella and Caden on for a few minutes to end it off, but yeah, that's going to be my mom and dad, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed them on the podcast for the first time.
Peace.
And yeah, we'll get Bella and Caden on here for a little bit. Okay, guys, we got Bella and Caden on here for you to wrap up the episode. We're going to talk to them for a few minutes and get on out of here. So, yeah, we were just talking about you, Bella, actually. We were going to ask you about your cosmetology school that you started and how that journey is going for you.
Yeah, so basically right now I'm doing cosmetology school, and I hate it so far.
Nice.
I actually am going to be taking clients in 5 weeks, and there's actually no way that
Could happen.
Oh, you're taking clients in 5 weeks? You take clients while you're in school? Just like random
Holy
people?
crap.
Do you not know that is how cosmetology school works?
No, just like random
It's
people?
literally, yes, and they get discounted.
They're about to get messed up.
Yeah, they are about to get
Well,
messed.
that's
They're
where
about to
they're
get messed
discounted
up.
hair.
Discounted hair because they ain't going to have no hair.
Yeah.
Yes, because they know the situation and they know it's a learning school and they know that
Oh,
there's a chance that their
crap.
hair is going to be messed up, AJ.
I did not know all that.
Yes. Apparently, you've never been to
I've seen the pictures of your dolls you've been working on.
That's how you're going to look at when you go to her.
because Mom gave me the same response. That's why
When you roast yourself, when you send it to our group chat and you roast yourself, then yeah, I think you know what the problem is. Yeah, I guess anything else you wanted to share on that besides threatening people's well-being? Caden, we just want to hear a little bit about your junior year that you're in right now, the hardest year of high school that you have. How's that going for you?
That's great.
Just great. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
That's all you got to say.
I told him that he could come in and get a shampoo and conditioner and blow dry for homecoming, but
Dang.
he said no.
Give him a perm. Give that mullet a perm.
This is Weenie.
Okay, well, I think we're going to wrap the episode up there, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed episode 26, I believe this one is. Yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up there. That has been my mom and dad, a little bit of Bella and Caden. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, thank you guys so much for watching, listening, and supporting, and we will see you guys next week.
With
Peace.
special guest Titus.